Good afternoon, colleagues. Today we are going to look at the Position Wizard Advisor. Its main function is to provide automatic risk management. The control panel is quite simple. In the first field, you enter the risk amount. In the second field, you determine how the risk will be expressed, either as a direct dollar amount, or if you click this button once, you'll see that the risk is set as a percentage. After you have set the risk, let's say in this case our risk is set to $20, you can open orders of any type, both market orders in either direction, as well as pending orders in the form of limit or stop orders. The advisor automatically determines which type of order will be opened, calculates the lot size based on the risk you specified, and opens the orders. This makes risk management a fairly simple task without the need for external calculators. Let's say we want to open a pending limit order. To do this, you simply need to click the Pending Orders button. What do we see? An automatic prompt appears, and the advisor asks us in this case to set a stop loss. If we need the order at this moment, or if we change our mind, we simply press the escape key and the order is cancelled. Please note that the service information provided by the expert in the prompts for the stop loss, order, and profit lines is tied to the mouse cursor. So if any information is currently covered by chart elements, you can simply move it to a free area of the chart, and the information will become much more readable for you. It's not necessary to operate with the trade directly in the area of the latest candle. Let's try to place a limit buy order. To do this, we set the stop loss level. At the second step, the advisor asks us to specify the price level at which our order will actually be opened. Additionally, as hints, it allows you to directly see the number of lots that will be taken and the level of risk you will actually be taking on in this trade if you open a limit buy order at the current value at the current price. This is very convenient in the sense that you can see what the actual risk will be, and we can see that no matter how we move or where we move our trade, the actual risk level will not exceed $20. It may be less. This is due to the fact that the number of lots is quite discrete, and simple math shows that orders can be opened for a smaller amount. But under no circumstances will your risk management be compromised. Your orders will be opened with a risk no greater than what is specified in the expert's control panel. Let's try to do this. Click again. In fact, the order is already set. Next, we set the take profit. Accordingly, we have a prompt, set take profit. Additional information is provided to you, RR, risk reward, and the actual amount that will be earned if our order is filled and the price reaches the take profit level. That's it, the expert's work is done, the trade has been placed. Further management of the trade takes place within the standard MetaTrader 5 interface. Here we can see that a buy limit order has been opened. The number of lots entered matches what we had planned. Accordingly, if the price is reached and hits the stop level, you can see that our risk will not exceed $20 and will be as close to it as possible, taking into account the number of lots entered. So we can delete this trade and try to open a stop order. To do this, we click the exact same button and set the stop loss level according to our prompt. And as soon as we move the mouse above the price level and start working above the price level for buy orders, a stop order is automatically opened. That is, an order that will be activated if the price reaches it from below. Let's do this. We open this order. In the same way, we set the take profit level, and we can see that, yes, indeed, a buy stop order has been placed. In other words, the order type was determined completely automatically, and you don't need to specify anything else. If the mouse is below the price level, a buy limit order will be opened. If it's above, a sell limit order will be opened. The same process applies to short orders. If you initially set your stop loss order above the current price level, and you then proceed to open a new trade position that is also above the prevailing price level, in this specific scenario, a limit sell order, which is essentially a short position, will be automatically opened and executed. If you drag the mouse below the price level, a stop order for a short will be opened. Let's try this and see it for ourselves once again. Here we're opening a limit sell trade. We set the take profit level. We can see that, yes, indeed, a sell limit order has been opened with a risk that does not exceed the risk specified in our expert advisor's control panel. The last type of orders we need to cover are market orders. Let's try to do this. We click the market button. Accordingly, we see exactly the same prompt. The feature of opening market orders is that as soon as we click the button, the order will be opened instantly. Let's try to do this. We click. We can see that the order has actually been executed. We have opened a buy order, and it is already in the market at this moment. Among the additional indication elements that you can see from our advisor are the following. That is, its main task is to ensure proper risk management. Therefore, at times when you want to open a trade but it is not possible to do so, it will warn you about this. There can be several options. The first option, for example, is when you want to open a trade too close to the stop loss level, meaning you are trying to open a trade with a huge number of lots, and your margin actually doesn't allow you to take on such a trade. We see that it says no money. In other words, you simply don't have enough margin. And even if you try to open a trade at this moment, the expert advisor simply won't let you do it. The second situation is when you try to set a stop level that is too far away, and as a result, the number of lots is reduced. We know that every instrument in MetaTrader has a minimum number of lots that you can trade. In this case, the expert advisor will display a warning saying small lot, and again, it won't let you open the order. Because if you try to open a trade in this situation, and it even opens a trade with the minimum lot size, it would mean that you are exceeding the risk level you set for the trade. Therefore, this expert advisor helps to take the load off you, eliminates the time you spend calculating lots with third-party calculators, and removes the possibility of errors. As a result, your risk management becomes quite predictable, clear, and importantly, simple. Especially if you are engaged in scalping, this can have a pretty positive effect on your performance. Now let's take a look at the settings of the Position Wizard Expert Advisor. The first item, base amount and percentage, determines the value that will appear in the first field on the experts panel. So in this case, we have 20 set. Here I have 20 set. This means that after restarting the terminal, my value will be set here. The next item determines what the value of the first field will be expressed in. It will be expressed either in dollars, as in this case, or if we set the value to false instead of true here, it will be displayed in percentages accordingly. The value of the percentage field can be fractional. That is, you can specify any value less than 1%. The next field lists the recommended ranges for different operating systems. The expert has been written and tested on both macOS and Windows operating systems. The recommended values are US. You can see the scale here. This field indicates the panel size. In this case, if I am working with a single instrument, for example, I find it convenient to work with size 3. If I am working in split mode, when I have 15 or 12 windows open, I can choose a much smaller terminal size. For example, it could be 2. I will see that the expert has become much smaller, or on the contrary, if I have some questions and would like to see a much larger panel, I can set the value to 4 here. I will immediately see that the panel becomes quite large, visually noticeable on the screen. The next field is quite important in itself. It's the ability to open a hedge position. A hedge position is, for example, when you have an open long position and you can also open a short position at the same time. This means that the hedge mode is enabled. If you are trading with your own funds, this is possible if you use hedging. If you work for prop firms, as a rule, most of them prohibit trading in hedge mode. Therefore, by setting this mode to false, you will prevent the opening of hedge positions and avoid failing the challenge with a single wrong action. Next comes color customization. You can choose both the color of the panel and the color of pressed, unpressed buttons, as well as all possible colors for the stop loss line, take profit line, and order placement line. By purchasing this expert, you get automatic risk management that eliminates the possibility of mistakes, freeing up your time so you can spend more of it analyzing the market and earning more money. Good luck to everyone.